Today, we started out talking about hair. We ended up starting to talk about history, black, love, self, and all of the above. I think today is a great educational video so that you can really get some understanding of who you are and where you stand in this game. Just listen.
That's one thing. Because when a hair locks, it tangles.
Okay.
Now, the more what we will call coarser, harder, nappier, the hair will be, the faster it will intertwine. But when it's more loose like this, it's going to have more of a time. I also noticed that with hair more loose like this, it has a silkier texture. Way more than mine will. So yours will give the illustrious look of more of a shine than mine will, because mine has a real tight curl pattern. Now with that more silkier flare, again, that's going to go against the grain of locking. When your hair starts to do its actual best of locking, is when it's just realized that a whole bunch of shedded hair is just sticking in there, and then it just intertwines. But by that time, it looks like one big ass mess.
Okay.
Remember that part? When it was looking crazy.
Yep.
And you was like, am I going to still go with this or not?
Yeah.
So then, by the time you really had made up your mind, you had realized it had grown. But it's grown, but then you changed.
Yeah.
You got a little more comfortable with it. All that work you was doing in the beginning when you were more determined with it, you kind of laid back when you started it was going this way. The thing is, with this hair, you got to keep that work.
Okay.
You got to keep that work. So, I'm not saying that you have to.
See, my thing is this. My hair seems to, like, about 2 weeks, I find myself in this situation where my hair is like a lot of, it look like product. I don't think it's dandruff. I don't even really think it's dandruff as much as it is just.
Yeah, and that could be because what's happening is now that the hair is webbed and your hair has that silky texture, these products is just sitting there. Especially when you put so much on that little bitty area, it's just gonna sit there. That's why when you want to do your hair, you want to have put products on you, whatever. You put it on and you put the product in.
Okay.
You can feel it that it's there.
Okay.
You don't have to see it. And a lot of times with locking, people have gotten confused with having to see what they're putting on your hair. As you see, they put that big shit on their hand.
Right.
And like, no, honey, feel this. Feel how light that is.
Yeah, that
feel
is
that?
light.
That's really light. So what that's going to do is go onto the hair and do what's called dissipate. It absorbs into the hair.
Okay.
And being that it's absorbing into the hair, doing its job with the polymers that are in this product, which polymers are pretty much in all products that have a holding factor.
Okay.
The polymers, when they start doing their job, they're not going to cause a flakiness. One reason is because when I shampooed you, I put all the type of moisture I ever was going to put in.
Okay.
Then with this product and with my spray, there's another level of moisture and hydration with that as well.
Okay.
So nothing that I'm putting on you is going to cause the hair to go into that dry spell. Now, I put that regimen together because I already understood that all of this was old, dead, dry hair anyway. I don't want to make it no more. Okay. I want to make it to where you can keep it. Since this is your style now, you call this your hair, you call this your look. The look is successful and completed when it looks decent and healthy and refined.
Right.
So the assistance with moisture is what gives you that. So that's where the whole program comes from. The assistance to keep it going.
Right. Because, okay, so a few days after my shampoo, okay, so I noticed that my scalp looked real, be dry. So I bought this spray. It's supposed to be some type of lock spray that where you can spray it on your scalp and supposed to make it better or whatever. But I just don't. And to me, it seems like it dries up on my scalp, and then the flakiness comes.
So, question: when you bought that bottle, did you turn that bottle around and did you read the ingredients?
Nope.
That's what you want to do. I don't care what nothing say. First of all, we're gonna get past that word that says natural. Ain't nothing natural. You got to get to the truth. The truth is the ingredients say if it's an oil, it should just be an oil. It shouldn't be a word that you can't pronounce.
Okay.
It should be an oil.
Okay.
Olive, jojoba, carrot, whatever, oil base. That's it. So that's what you need. That's for your great level of hydration. If the oil has any type of alcohol in it, to break it down, it's gonna dry you out. you already have something that's going to dry you already.
Right.
You have to assist in the program. And
Yeah.
what you're assisting is a gland called the sebaceous gland. That gland helps your body secrete oil into this. So as long as you're getting the oil from the body, you're drinking plenty of water, you're going into this factor by keeping this hydrated, you're good.
Okay.
Now the next thing you will have to worry about, because your hair is gray, that hair lacks porosity. Porosity is being able to hold the oil.
Right.
So these hairs, you realize their texture is way different from hairs you ever had before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's just because it's losing different proteins, it's losing different things, but the same assistance goes for that. Hydration, moisture, that's it, bro. You don't need nothing else, honestly. Okay. Tied up with a little scarf, you know how when you was a little girl, your mom put out that oil and that grease on your face? Yeah, now look at you now, your skin is beautiful. That's hydration, that's moisture, it matters. I don't care what texture it is, anything that is hydrated and moisturized is something that lasts longer. Dry and brittle cracks faster. So that's just the name. Now you don't have to be baby wet and just greasy,
right?
But just a little light touch to it.
Okay. Yeah, I decided when I decided to lock my hair, that's when I decided, I said, okay, I'll just let myself go gray, you know.
And that's gonna be dope. That's gonna look good. Gray will look good on you.
Yeah, I didn't want to try to dye or anything. I said, well, if I'm gonna lock, I just might as well go on and go gray.
And see, that's the thing I like about locks in this community. Like, it makes you own self.
Yeah.
It makes you aware. You can't. Ain't no more covering up now, baby. You is you. But in this you see that this hair can grow. This hair can prove to you what it will do. But that's when you leave it alone and let it do its thing. Yeah. So this can be a really dope aspect.
So when I first started, my hair was, it was about like this.
Sure.
So it has really grown.
Right. I'm proud of that. And all you gotta do is just let it be, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And just like you've been focused and aware on the things that are happening, stay that way. Stay on the work, stay tying it up at night. Stay aware to as you see it growing, just be happier with it, because each phase, to me, each person has some issues.
Right.
When it's short, they want styles. When it gets long enough and touch their shoulders, they feel like they got crap falling on them. And then once it passed their broad strap, it's heavy, my neck hurt, oh, I can't go to sleep. Everybody's going to have something. It just comes along with the success of each phase of each journey.
Yeah, with me, it was like with this, I was a little concerned because, one of my nieces, she has locks, and she has sister locks. And I was trying to explain to her, because she's like, why your locks look raggedy at the end, and why? And I was explaining to her that I didn't have the same type of locks she has, number one.
Right. And
that my locks was different because of the fact that he began it with the twist. He did twist versus,
You know what else could be a factor in that? The fact that she calls your locks raggedy at the end versus what you would consider hers. Your locks will also start at a time where starting locks was very different. Starting locks and parts at that time when I'm sure you started, your mindset started, versus hers was very different, because been in the game for over 20 years at this point. I have seen how starter locks and part to lock ratio and just the aspect of styles and locks have completely changed.
Yeah, because all hers are the same length, the same, everything, and she's looking at mine like, ooh, your stuff don't look right,
Yeah, you got started from the mindset of how natural first started, and she may have gotten started from the mindset of artistic aspect, because they did go into more artistry. And I just noticed that over time, because in the beginning when I started, it was a big deal. Certain people couldn't even come to work with locks. Yeah. So some of my clients was cutting their hair off because they were questioning losing their jobs.
Right.
So the industry's life just changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Things really changed when I first in corporate America. I was wearing my hair, perm. I had a perm because that's what they expected, and especially because I was the first African American that held my position in my company.
Right. Congratulations,
they expected, you to look a certain way.
Right. Well, that was the standard that was set as far as corporate America, as far as being educated, as far as all of that. That was the standard, and even though they try to act like they're getting away from it, they're still apart to some degree. But the standard has been altered to where there's more allowance and acceptance.
Accepting it,
yeah. Because, you know, this wasn't even allowed in the Army and all that at one point.
Right. I just retired from my company I had worked for 26 years. And I'm working again for another company doing the same thing, just, you know, for a different company. But yeah, towards the end, you know, like I would say towards the end of my career, my last, I would say 5-6 years of my career, I just decided to be me. But that wasn't easy.
That's all right. You better talk. I'm listening. Come
that
on.
was not easy.
That's all right. You did it. Because, and now what's dope about that is you knew her first. And when you knew her, you were able to teach her. And when you taught her, what did they do automatically? They respected the shit out of her, didn't they? And how did that make you feel? You was that girl, baby. Ooh, that's what I'm talking. See, that is the shit that I feel like is important. You found you, you owned you, you taught you, and when you taught you, they respected you instantaneously.
Yeah. And so going to this new company has allowed me the opportunity to come in, and I'm going to dictate what happens now.
All right.
You know, and they love what they see.
Come on.
So
what does it feel like as a black woman to have truly, somewhat, even before you have closed your eyes, realize that you have started to leave a legacy, and you started from when you said, "I was the first black woman to hold that position." How does that feel? That has to feel amazing.
It does, and what's so crazy about this whole thing? My new position.
Yeah.
I get to see my old boss all the time.
Oh,
in fact, I was in
he will prepare a table in the presence. Come on.
Yeah, and so it was so funny about it is I was in a meeting with her just last week, and my new boss, she said, "I noticed your old boss really didn't say anything to you." I was like, oh well.
Chicky, boom, boom. I love it. I love it. And then see, that's when you can tell she thought she preyed on your failure, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
right
before they tried to fire me last year, actually.
On what regard?
After 26 years.
Ooh, that is disgusting. Did that break you?
It did for a little bit.
I can imagine. But what was the pop-out? What made you say?
I was like, because at first I went out on disability. I was sad. I was pretty sad. I went out on disability, and I wasn't going to go back. I was just going to go on and retire.
Yeah.
And then I said,
No, bro.
I went back. They were surprised. They had turned off my telephone. Like, they had to reconnect. When somebody would call my number from that company, they would get a message saying the phone number is not assigned. They had gave up. They thought, okay, yeah, she ain't coming back. I came back, and I came back for a while, and I hung in there for a little bit, and then something just told me, find you another job. And so this guy I had been, I'd been running back and forth out to Portland, Oregon, throughout the years, being the liaison for my company. And he had offered me a job many times before. And I went to him and said, "You got a job for me?" And he said, "You serious?" I said, "Yeah, I need a job." And he didn't connect with me for about a month and a half.
You kind of gave up again.
I thought, oh man. And he came back to me. He said, "I had to go get some money." He said, "I got a job for you."
I had to go get right for you, baby. Here I am. That's how you talk to him. Okay, so where we at now?
And so what ended up happening is that's my husband.
Hey.
Hi, John. John, this is Damien.
Nice to meet
Damien.
you, sir.
This is my husband, John.
All right on. Well, you know what time it is for me.
Are you gonna go eat?
No.
What?
Restroom.
Oh, you gotta go to a restaurant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. That's fine.
How's she looking, man?
She looks pretty good so far.
Right on. Take care of her now.
I will do.
Mhm. Yeah. Here, wait. So, but yeah, he ended up going to get me get some money, and he told me don't worry about anything. He offered me he paid me the same pay that I got before, my same salary, my same PTO. I didn't have to worry about anything, and he gave me that job.
Right. So you didn't even miss a beat.
And so I got to retire, and also have my job.
I love it. I love it. That's a wonderful exit strategy. That is dope.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna. I didn't when he was kind of upset. I went back, but I went back to prove to them, okay, now, don't play me.
Well, with some people I've learned, you can share your ideas, but you can't share your passion. And sometimes, at the beginning, they may not see that thing that you see when you close your eyes and you dream. That's why they tell you certain things. I was told when I wanted to do this that I was going to be a failure, but I took it and I used it for my good. Yeah. And I didn't have any regard when it was time to come back and say, look what I've done. Would you call this failure? And they couldn't. So I did a good thing. I wasn't worried about what you said. I was worried about what you couldn't say. Yeah. And you couldn't say I was going to goddamn fail.
Yeah. And it's so funny because, when I came back, they took my direct reports and, because I was assistant director. And so they took my direct reports away from me and stuff. And I hung in there for a bit. And I said, but I gotta get out of here,
I'm happy.
I'm happy about it. I consider it a success story.
And that's how that is. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a fantastic success story. When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
Northwestern Mutual was my
No, when's your birthday?
When is my birthday? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. In June. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I was raised by